you and I can disagree about how it's received among an American person who hears Revolver Ocelot.
I think it's
But
a
what
cool
you
name, but it's not the best English
right,
translation, you know?
you and I will agree on the fact that it's not the same as the way a Japanese
Mm,
person would
no.
receive the name. So my first inclination would be to try to achieve um, the same effect. So I would break it down. I'd say, well, what was the effect achieved? How was it achieved? What can we do to achieve that effect? Among the U.S. audience, rather than just saying, "Oh, he chose Revolver Ocelot. Let's make it," you know,
Hmm.
because it did sound silly to me. Psycho Mantis. Revolver Ocelot. Looking back now, after years and years have passed, it no longer bothers me. But certainly at the time, I felt like, yeah, that's stupid.
About Ocelot, though, I mean, I'm sure there's somebody out there who's gonna educate me about this later because it's probably a stupid question. But the name Shalashaska was that
Yeah,
yours, or where did that come from?
Shalashaska. That's a good question. I think that that was like you're bringing this up after 9 years, and I hadn't
Sorry.
thought about that in a long time. But that was like one of those things that I did a lot of research on, and I don't remember whether or not that was something that sometimes I would do research and find out something, and sometimes I wouldn't. So Shalashaska, I don't remember if that was one of those things that I said, oh fuck it, sounds okay. Maybe he had in katakana he had written Shada Shasuka. I don't know. I don't remember. I think he probably had something in katakana written there, and I probably would have tried to do the research to see if it was a real word in Russian or something. But you have to understand it's very difficult to go from Japanese katakana and then try to figure out what the original spelling in English might be of a Russian word, you know.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can solve the puzzle. Sometimes there was no puzzle to solve because maybe it was made up by Kojima. So I don't know the answer to your question.
Sorry.
Probably it's made up, but it doesn't matter as long as you don't know.
Uh, but, I mean, when you look back at it all, out of all what you've done, I mean,
It was so important to me. Yeah, it was so important to me.
I
Metal
mean,
Gear
it's,
Solid was really important to me.
and then, Scott Dolph comes in and shits all over you and says,
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he acted,
it was an,
I just,
it was a great game. It was a great experience. I feel so good about having done it. I know it had an impact, and nothing could make me feel better than that fact. And
it was a translation with balls if you think about it. No one wants to
well,
do a
thanks.
translation like
It's not
this
many
Thanks
these
for
days.
saying that.
games that you hear lines like "bleeding heart liberals" and
Oh, are there lines like that?
yeah.
I mean, like,
I should like to review the text sometime.
but I
See
mean,
what I wrote in there.
as I said, it's a translation with balls. It has meaning. It's not afraid to go out there sometimes. And I think that's why everybody loves it. I mean, it just sounds like it was written in English. Like it wasn't
I never imagined
Japanese.
that. I never imagined that they were going to do something like Integral and compare the lines. I thought my job was to satisfy the American audience, as well as I felt that Kojima had satisfied his own audience. I really thought it was a great game. I mean, you know, I, all, I don't want you to think I've done nothing but bad talk Kojima, because I really thought Metal Gear Solid was the bomb, man. I thought that was such a great game. I was so happy to be working on it. I was so motivated, and yeah, I just tried to do my best. And they were great enough to give me the time to work on it, and I think that it shows in the finished product. You know?
I think everybody agrees with you there too.
Yeah.
But I mean, gosh, we're like exactly at 2 hours now. Thank you for taking the time to do this with us.
Well, you guys were great. I'm glad I wasn't talking to some kind of uncritical fanboys here, and I hope that your audience is as intelligent about it as you guys are, because video games, I think, deserve some real analysis and thought. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I think some people overanalyze stuff on the internet. They try and oh, this is wrong, and some people don't take the time to do the research to realize you didn't translate Metal Gear Solid 2 or 3. You had
Right.
no part in the translation or any sort of translation to Police Knots, and we had guys
Except
ask,
for a year and a half. Except for a year and a half at Konami, I was a freelancer ever since then. And freelancers cannot argue. They can't say there's that's like so I was arguing on this job to get a better product, but in general, after that, I kind of really busted my spirit, you know, and I haven't argued much like that since then. You know, I got to feed my family, you know. So you take a job, and even if there isn't enough support, and you don't know, you know, if this is going to work or what this really means, you do your job, and that's why. But that's just going along to get along. That's why the voice actors suck. And that's why Agnes sucked when she said do what she did, and I'm probably sucking to some extent in what I'm doing.